one and only Rebel J, back with another video. Look guys, do not work at Dollar General. Even if it's your first job, I mean, if you can find something else, find something else. And it's just about a lot more than the work. And I'm gonna explain it to you, right? So let's start out with the systems, right? The systems are old. The systems you're going to be using at Dollar General haven't been updated for over a decade. So they're not your typical system, you know, with some sort of intelligence or what you'd expect. It's a really old cash register system, which means there's going to be errors. And I'm talking errors that shouldn't be a worry when you're working. Errors such as, and I'm talking about every single day, I could be doing a transaction on the register and guess what? It freezes and I have to reset the whole computer sometimes in the middle of a transaction, and it would take 7 minutes, truly 7 minutes for it to come up, and the customers are looking at me like I'm fucking like crazy or I'm doing something to them, or you know, this is me and I'm wanting this to happen. Like it'll be that stressful. And on the other hand, you can have times where the registers will crash before the transaction, and right when you press a button, it'll freeze. You have to reset it, and it'll take a couple minutes to get up. Can you imagine how stressful this is when you're the only person at the register and there's customers waiting in line, and you just have to explain to them, hey, it's the technology, you know, you're the one shopping here, you know, you can choose to shop somewhere else. You know, there was one time I was looking at my phone because I just had to reset the computer, and I had a customer right in front of me, and I just told him, oh, you know, I have to reset the computer. He's like, oh, okay, it's all good. So the customer, there's two customers behind him. The customer's behind him was like, dude, are you gonna check us out? I said, yeah, the computer's resetting. He's like, oh, you know, he's like, oh yeah, you should hit it with a baseball bat. And I'm like, yeah, then you'll be sitting there all night, you know. And yeah, I said that to him, but you know, he just laughed it off or whatever. As much as I would like to do that, by the way. So yeah, the computers are extremely bad. Another issue with it is the management. The store can operate without a manager whatsoever, which means if the manager quits, the company can take as long as they want to get some manager that they want, but the assistant manager isn't going to be able to take over that role because it pays too much, and they don't want to give that role to the assistant manager. No matter how hard you work, you'd have to be with the company for years and years, have a degree or some sort for them to give you that role. So it's sort of dead end. And it's also very extremely low paying for the work that you're going to be doing. Now, sure, it's an entry-level job and all, but really, come on. Now, another thing is the payroll, right? So the corporate gives the managers a certain amount of money. They give them a budget that they can give out. So they cannot hire more than a certain amount of people at one time. So this means whenever I was working there was usually 4 people throughout the entire day in that store, and a whole Dollar General store. Now, if you shop Dollar General, you know how busy the stores can get. So there's 4 people throughout the entire store. 2 in the morning, 2 work the night shifts. I will always work 2 to 10, and whoever else worked 8 to 2 and in the morning, right? So that's how it was. There was only 4 people throughout the day usually, unless we had sometimes, you know, we had to get the whole entire shift to come in like one day to try and get all the freight out and stocked onto the floor because it was so bad. So there would be 2 people, and there was times where 2 people had to be on the register for like a large amount of time. So if you can imagine that throughout the entire week, how can you get freight out? That's why you see these rotainers inside the store jacked up everywhere, because workers can't get them out. And Dollar General Corporation, by the way, is so cheap that they are putting budgets on the managers to where they can only hire a certain amount of people. And also, if you are not a key holder there, they will cut your hours. They don't want anyone besides the key holder full time. Now, by the way, they gave me a $1.75 raise from $10 to become a key holder. And the key holder, which is the lead sales associate, not even the assistant manager, does everything that the official store manager does. And that's me making $11.75 back when I had that job. That is completely fucking insane. So you're doing the same thing as a manager. You're closing the store and you're counting the money and you're staying there longer to do that BS, and you get no money. And also, you most likely will not be getting a yearly raise. I did not get a yearly raise working there. Why? I don't fucking know, because the company is shit. I didn't get any paid time off working there. There was never a day where I could really call a line to call in or anything like that. And only I ever really remembered working there getting called in, to be honest. So that's sickening when it comes to that store. Also, that store has broken multiple fucking guidelines when it comes to the blockages of the fire exits. So with all the rotators and the trucks that we can't get out because corporate wants to give managers budgets to where we can't have any workers in there to get this stuff out onto the floor and stocked, so that way we can get all the crap out of the fucking back room, right? So we can't even do that. It's absolutely crazy. We have fire exits being blocked, and this was happening 24/7. Fire exits being blocked. It was absolutely astounding. Now, you will encounter some people, working there. It's a convenience store that will make you think like, damn, I want to work there just to see that one person. But then you have customers that are like, damn, I really hate humanity, So it's a hit or miss when it comes to the customers, but everything else is absolutely terrible. The work is easy, but it's entry level stuff. It's just operating a computer. So anybody can scan an item, but it's disgusting work. And also, they can operate stores without AC whenever they want, and this is a common practice at most Dollar Generals. They do not care. Some of the co-workers that you're going to get there are absolutely terrible people, and some of the co-workers will be cool people. Also, if you work there for a long period of time, people are going to come and go left and right. You're never going to have a steady group of people around you. It's going to be different people every time. Nobody stays at that job because they realize just how dead end it is. But as a first job, the only thing that I can say it gave me is it gave me a lot of knowledge when it comes to retail. So it gave me a lot of knowledge in that, and it gave me it made me see just how annoying and just how fucking rude some people can be, because you can encounter some really fucking terrible people there. And I've actually encountered a situation where I had to call the police on criminals trying to fucking scam with vanilla cards and get money onto their vanilla cards by trying to ask new associates how long they've been there, so that way they can try and work their scam negotiations by telling them what to do behind the register. That has happened, and I've had to call the police on customers and get them trespassed from the store. By the way, this store is unsafe. They have no security or anything of that sort to look out for you. I mean, really, on top of everything, the pay is absolutely terrible, but just everything all put together. You got the computers crashing. You got the store that's messy because of corporate. Corporate knows why there's a bunch of shit out on the fucking floors. It's because they can, but they do not want to pay employees. They do not want to pay to hire employees to put the stock and put the food out onto the floor. They just want to keep the budget as low as they possibly can and just get by, just barely get by with the functioning store, because you got all this nasty clutter all over the store, and then customers have to go through it, and it's all crazy. And I got out of it before it got really bad, but I'm honestly surprised to see how Dollar General is still even functioning at this point. Like, I think that's a store with the way they treat employees that should definitely be 6 feet under, and it's absolutely sickening. But just with the convenience of it, it's only getting more and more money because people don't really listen to this part and think about it and think about the employees and what they go through there, because it was probably the most mentally draining job. Like, I can do physical work over that anytime, but mentally that was an extremely draining job, and anyone who can maintain that for a long time really has a strong mindset, and which I did. But at the end of the day, money wise, it's just not worth it, and I ended up finding something that paid way better, like I deserved. And I think that if you work there for a long period of time, you should too. But it's just a disgusting company all together. They need to get their crap together, and it's just sickening. Do not work at Dollar General unless you want to become a fucking skeleton, unless you want to become dead inside mentally, unless you can't find any other job in the entire world and you need something to get on your feet temporarily. Do not work at Dollar General. It's a fucking sick, disgusting company, and I don't even know how the fuck it's still functioning. But again, it is what it is. Take this information and share it, because people will shop there, but this is the reality. This is how they treat employees. And I worked there for a while. I was a well-known face there, and I can tell you that company is fucking disgusting, and I absolutely hate it. Would never go back. I don't give a fuck. I'd be homeless before I go back, but I would never deal with that ever again, because you cannot get stuff done there. It's also like, another thing is, whenever you're working or whenever you're behind the register, the management expects you to do work as you're on the register. So they want you to put up gum, they want you to do the totes, put shit up on the totes. And whenever you want to do that, there's a customer that comes right to the register. Okay, a lot of retail stores do that. Okay, so what? But again, this is for a small amount of money, and they really be asking you to do this over and over and over again. Like, that is sickening. And also, when it gets busy, no help, because there's only one other employee in the store, and this is how they want it to operate. They want it to operate on 2 people each shift. Morning shift, 2 people. Night shift, 2 people. That's what they want. That's what their budget wants, so they can keep the money in their fucking pockets, corporate, and everyone below that gets absolutely nothing. So it's a sick fucking company. I really don't know how it's still going. But again, share this information. Let me know what you think of it. Have you worked at Dollar General? If so, let me know if you had the same experiences. If you've worked there for a while and you were also a lead sales associate, I know you didn't have a fun time working there, other than seeing a couple of good customers here and there. But other than that, sick fucking company. Would never go back. End of discussion. I'll see you in the next one. This is the one and only Rebel J, like I said before, and I'll see you.